a stormy bracket!
What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is my review for the TV show 1899. This is a show that came out in 2022, 8 episodes long on Netflix, and this is from the creators of the TV show Dark, which is one of my favorite TV shows. I think it is incredible. It is also on Netflix, and if you haven't done so already, please do check out that show. It's 3 seasons long, and it's incredible. I had no clue about 1899, honestly, until I would say towards the end of October, when I saw on Twitter that the trailer for 1899 dropped. And many of you probably know, for myself, I try to stay away from trailers. But when I saw the tweet, I saw the trailer, and then I saw at the top it said from the creators of Dark, and I sent it to a bunch of people that I know that have seen the TV show Dark, such as myself, but I myself didn't watch the trailer because all I needed to know was the selling point was from the creators of Dark. And this is a show that if you need to know a little bit more information, I can explain that right now. So the premise is it's about a multinational immigrant crew, along with, a bunch of people that are traveling. They're going from the old country to the new country, but at the same time, they come across a boat, and it is a deserted boat. But the question is, why is it deserted? What happened on that boat? And there's also some other odd things that occur, not only that boat, but as well as the boat with the people that are trying to go from the old country to the new. So there's a lot going on in this show. And I think that it's something that, to be honest with you, for myself, I really, really like the first couple episodes, but I can definitely see people being turned off by it because it's as if you're being thrown into like a puzzle box, so to speak, and you have no clue what the key is. And for myself, I like that. I like being put into the shoes of like the characters and trying to figure out what's going on. Some people I know might not like that, but for myself, I like that. So I can see some people kind of complaining about a slow start, but I will say I was personally, from frame one, I was in. This is a really, really good show. And not going to lie, I'm going to say right off the bat, I hope this is the one and done because the way that this season ended, in my opinion, it was great. It felt like it was something that dropped to the mic and at the same time said, all right, we'll trust viewers with, some connecting the dots of certain things, but all right, here we go. Now, again, I could see potentially a second or third season, kind of what they do with Dark. But for myself, I just kind of wish it, and hope that they just leave it at this one season because it's really good. It's very moody. The atmosphere you feel the suspense, and you feel it through the cinematography. There's a lot of symbolism in the cinematography. Like when you go in different parts of the ship, you see different utilization of colors, and I also especially like the color red that you see towards the last couple episodes. I thought that was really effective to represent danger. And that's the thing also, there's little things like I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's something where they use black and white to represent good and evil, and I thought that was a brilliant touch. I believe it was episode 7 that they used that. Again, not gonna spoil anything, but it was something that I noticed, and I was like, that's really cool, and it kind of like lets viewers know a little bit, like, aha, this character, you think they're this way, but they might actually be this way, and I really liked that. There are a bunch of characters, and I know for many people it might be like, oh my goodness, we have to follow all these people. This is a lot to handle. But like, I feel like at first that's the case, but as you slowly, get to know these characters, you genuinely do feel for them, and you do care for them, and you're like, okay, I understand, their motivations. I understand where they're coming from, and at the same time, I understand why they want to do this and that. I like that. The score is also very much so atmospheric. Going to, the cinematography, the production design, there's just a lot of great filmmaking on display to create a palpable atmosphere. It also helps that the ships themselves, they aren't just a setting. They feel like characters in themselves. And I thought that was something that also I greatly appreciated. Very well acted show, very heavy on symbolism. Some of the twists I think were great, and then there were a couple that I kind of saw coming, but I still thought were effective. But this is definitely a show that I feel like people should watch. I think it was on Netflix's top 10 for a little bit, but I do hope that this is a show that more people watch because it is really, really good. It trusts audiences. It knows when to spew exposition, but at the same time, it also knows when to, utilize visual storytelling. And I think that the combination of the two really made for an effective viewing. Now, it's not a perfect season, though, of television, unfortunately. I will say that during the middle portion, I would say it was probably like episode 4 or 5. I thought that there were some, kind of like slow moments. Or no, I think it was actually episode 3 or 4. But regardless, there were some slow moments that I thought kind of dampened the pacing just a little bit. I mean, again, it's a slowly paced show to begin with to kind of, really build atmosphere. But there were some, instances where I was kind of like, I'm not as entertained as, I was throughout the rest of the show. But the other thing is, and I don't know if anyone else noticed this, the actor's name, it's slipping me right now. But the actor that plays Qui-Gon in Game of Thrones, he's in this. And whenever he was talking, I said to myself, that doesn't sound right. It sounds like it was dubbed. And keep in mind, I'm all about subs, not dubs. So it wasn't like I was watching the English dub. That's not me. I was watching it in German, the original language. But I looked it up, and apparently they got a bunch of different, actors from across the board. And in doing so, they had it where they would talk in their, normal language and everything. And, excuse me, they talk their normal language. And then I guess they would dub it. But the thing is, I didn't notice it with anyone else. But I think just because I've seen Qui-Gon in Game of Thrones, I know how he sounds, especially in that, and he just sounded so different in this show that it kind of took me out whenever he would talk. I was kind of like, man, like this doesn't sound like him, and I kind of wish that maybe I love Game of Thrones, but I kind of wish that I didn't know his voice and that I wasn't also simultaneously watching Andor whilst watching 1899 because he's also in that. So it's just one of those things where I guess too much Qui-Gon because I'm also watching Game of Thrones as well. So it's just so much of this actor that when I see him in all these different roles and I hear his accent, when I hear it in this and it's not that at all, and it's not like he is German, it's just something that kind of took me out because it just I could tell that it was dubbed. But besides that, I know for many it's going to be a minor flaw. For me, maybe I'm just overreaching here, but it's just something I noticed. But besides, excuse me, besides that, I thought this was a really effective show. It's got a lot of style, a lot of atmosphere, a lot of mood to spare. It's very well acted. It keeps viewers guessing. It's very thought provoking, and it has an ending that I think is really, really good. It utilizes a twist that I've seen several times this year that we're kind of done, but here it's a twist that works, in my opinion. So, guys, 1899, I personally, season 1, if it's only one season, I personally will be giving a... All right, guys, those are my thoughts on 1899. What did you think of season 1? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, as well as, any thoughts that you might have in terms of like that ending and if you want to see a second season or more seasons, so to speak. And I really do appreciate you guys watching my review. And as always, with subscription, notification on, I will catch you guys later.